As you probably know, I've been through most likely every single stage that a trader actually goes through. I was a complete beginner. I started trying to flip accounts. I ended up blowing those accounts. I then realized that I needed to start learning properly. And then I started to put in the work to actually becoming profitable. I became profitable and now I am a full-time trader. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact things that I actually understood that made it so that I knew I was never going to quit trading and that I needed to make this work. And if you can resonate with any of the things mentioned in this video, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. And if you are looking to learn how to trade, learn how I trade, learn how my mentorship members, around 700 people learning how I trade, speaking to me on a daily basis in my Discord community group as well, then be sure to check out the mentorship in the video description and learn how I trade there. So we're going to start with something very, very simple. And this was during the first probably month or two of my trading journey. And this was that I could see the potential in the blown accounts. And this might sound quite stupid. And obviously a blown account is a blown account. But what you need to realize is that if you can lose, let's say £500 in an hour, that also means you can make £500 in an hour. And what this means is that once you become profitable and once you realize that, okay, this is what I need to do to become profitable, this is what I could potentially start making when I get to that stage. If you can lose it, you can make it. That's the way I kind of thought about it. So when I was blowing these accounts, obviously some would work, some would fail, and you're kind of getting a glimpse of what is possible in trading. Obviously you're trading the complete wrong way. You should never blow accounts. Obviously, you should never go into an account with crazy risk. That is obviously never the right way to go about trading. But it kind of did give me some confidence for the future, knowing that, okay, if I can make this amount of money, if I was able to do that consistently on a larger account size, then I can actually make a living from this. The hardest part in trading for the majority of people that start with small accounts is they don't ever see the potential of what can happen in the future with a few years of hard work. They'll be trading a small account of, let's say, 300 to 500 pounds. And the issue with this is you're only seeing £2-3 wins, maybe sometimes maybe a £5 win. You know, obviously depends on the way you're trading, but you never really see the potential of what's actually happening. The only way you could see it is that you're seeing it on social media, you're seeing other people make money, but you also need to not believe everything you see online. If people are claiming to make ridiculous amounts of money with no proof or no losses, then it's probably a red flag and you should avoid that person. But I'm here to tell you that you are going to lose. You're going to probably lose more than you win for the majority of people watching this video, but you can still be profitable, losing more than you win, as you guys are probably well aware. So once I realized that other people were making money from trading, there were obviously other full-time traders, I was seeing the potential of the blown accounts. I knew that this was something I could potentially do in the long run and make a career out of this. So I obviously decided to go full-time very, very early in my journey. And this was mainly because the career that I was aiming to go into wasn't going to be as profitable based on the comparison against trading. The way I looked at it is that an average job in the UK, you're probably earning, I don't even know, 2-3 grand per month. Complete guess. I don't know the average salary. But if you compare this to trading, and my first week on a live account, I flipped 400 into £2,000. So in my mind, 3 days of trading, I flipped 400 to 2,000. I've made £1,500 profit. Obviously, this was a complete gamble and guess in the markets, and that is I'm no way saying that that's a good way of trading. But it did show me that, okay, I can replace a normal job working every single day for, let's say, 30 grand per year. That is obviously what everyone usually goes into. That's what they're told is the best route. But I wanted to go a different route. And I realized that the ratio of profit per hour, you could say, in trading, it starts very, very low. Because during the learning stages and during the phases in your trading where you might just be losing money, you might be learning or backtesting and not really seeing any return at all. This is where it's difficult. This is where your hourly rate is very, very low. So each hour of backtesting or trading, developing your plan, journaling, you're obviously not going to see a high return on your hourly rate. But if you compare that to a job, your hourly rate is not going to increase. If you work a job for 3 years and let's say you don't get any promotions, your hourly rate is going to stay exactly the same for those 3 years. It's not going to progress at all. And I accepted the fact that in trading, it will stay low or end up costing me money every single hour I work, which is the harsh reality of trading in the beginning stages of your journey that people don't realize. But it can actually start costing you money before then skyrocketing. And this is what it can actually do. I always look back at notable days in my trading to kind of reinforce this fact. When I have big days in the markets, I often say, okay, well, I just made $10,000 in 30 minutes, or I just made $50,000 in a few hours. But then what you actually realize is you didn't make it in 4 hours. You made it in all those hours that you didn't make anything in the past. And then it kind of is caught up now, so that the time you put in now, it might be a very, very small amount of time of actual trading or journaling per week once you get to that full-time level. But you have to remember, you've put in all the time in the past. And once you realize in your journey and before you quit that the time you put in now is actually developing you as a trader for the future gains you're going to make, then you can have confidence in the fact that, okay, I'm doing the right thing. I'm not just trying to flip accounts. I'm not trying to rush the process. I'm not trying to quit because I don't see a return yet. Don't do that. You need to be confident in the fact that, okay, I know this is going to take a while. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen next week. In 1 month, I'm suddenly not going to be making $10,000 per month. This just is not going to happen. And once I realized this, it was a game changer. In fact, just changing my perspective from short-term gains and get-rich-quick schemes, as many people like to participate in, to more long-term focused and more of treating it as an investment, treating it as an investment into yourself as a trader. So everything you do to improve yourself as a trader is kind of building up your levels. And the more levels you have, the more experience you have, the more data behind your trading, the better you're going to be trading the markets. And a way to do this is to not do exactly the same as everybody else. If you look at the stats for trading success, the one that's mentioned quite frequently is that 90% of traders lose 90% of their money in the first 90 days. And what do you think those traders do? Do you think they open up a brokerage account, they deposit some money, they watch some YouTube videos, they buy signals, and they end up losing, and then they quit? So if you don't want to be like the 90% of people that don't backtest, that don't have data behind their strategy, they don't journal their trades, they don't have a risk management plan, they don't even know what they're trading majority of the time, they don't control their emotions, they don't actually expect to make money long term, they just want to get rich quick. And lastly, they care about making as much money as possible this week or in this one trade or this 1 month. Whereas what you should be doing, the complete opposite of all those points I just mentioned. Focus on the long-term growth. Don't buy signals. Don't expect to make as much money as possible in one trade. And also, you don't want to expect the trade you're in now to decide your fate as a trader. This is the one thing I see most. And once I realized that if I zoom out and realize that this one trade I'm taking is not going to matter overall, as long as I follow my plan, then it wins or loses, I'm completely fine with that. I'll just move on to the next trade. And when I say it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean to just do something reckless or just trade randomly just because I said the trade doesn't matter. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that if you zoom out and see that, okay, over the next 400 trades, 500 trades, will that one loss affect me? No. So don't get attached emotionally to that one trade. And all of these things combined, it does, in my opinion, make you unstoppable as a trader. If you follow the right path, if you go into it with the right mindset, and you have the right expectations, and not unrealistic expectations, because that can lead to failure, and that as a result will lead to you quitting prematurely before you even get to the stage where you can reap the rewards of all the work you've put in during the start of your journey. And if you don't want to quit early, set yourself up for success by learning from the right people, the right materials, whether it be my mentorship, there's a link in the description, or any mentorship you see online that you do see as one that you can potentially learn from. Or maybe you just learn from YouTube videos. That is obviously a viable option too. And lastly, don't expect to get rich quick. You can look back at my old videos on my channel. I was trying to trade a few £100 in an account. I was trading £10 accounts. I was trying to do anything possible to basically gain experience in the markets and get used to trading, developing my strategy. I've done backtesting videos. I've done me trading small accounts. I've done me trading my first prop firm challenge. Go back and look that where I'm at now in my trading didn't happen just like that overnight. It just did not happen. And that is not going to be the case for you either. So do the proper research, learn from the right people, and hopefully I'll see you guys profitable on the yacht next to me in 5 years' time.